a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but the beauty a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful.
Welcome you guys to the 12th episode of the Level Up Lounge, and this is probably going to be my favorite episode so far just because this type of topic really resonates with me, and it's just the battle of staying consistent, staying disciplined to your true self, your true being, and the principles and values you have for yourself. So if this kind of sounds like you, something you want to achieve, something you're trying to achieve right now, this is a perfect episode for you. And let's get straight into this episode. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this book right here that I'm showing you inspired this episode. After reading this book, I had so many thoughts I need to reflect on myself, so many words of wisdom that comes from this book of what it means to be a spiritual warrior. You listeners, people viewing this might wonder what I mean by a spiritual warrior. And so that's what this episode is about, what a spiritual warrior means to me. And I have my phone next to me to display the top points I want to get over in this podcast. And let's get fucking started. So when it comes to being a spiritual warrior, I believe there's 4 pillars to what it means to be one of these type of people. Right, so 4 pillars, and they all have huge meanings behind them. So the first pillar of what it means to be a spiritual warrior is, in other words, to be spiritually disciplined to yourself and to your purpose, to your meaning, and to the people around you. So pillar number 1 is emotion. Being able to be emotionally strong, firm, sturdy, concrete, but at the same time, be vulnerable, be free, be creative. You might think that might contradict itself, but being a spiritual warrior emotionally means you can play all sides of the card. Like Bruce Lee said, if you are stiff as wood, you will break. If you're flowing like water, you can take shape of anything. In a water bottle, whatever that may be, you take shape of what circumstances, what environment you're at. So I wrote down some thoughts on what this pillar means. So this is what I wrote down, what I came up with. Being spiritually disciplined on the emotional sense is to be able to be disciplined in controlling your emotions and expressing your emotions you want for the good to the world. Right? So man, emotions can really drive you. It can really change a person. It can make or break somebody. And if you're not in control of these emotions, then the emotions are in control of you. Simple as that. So being able to be on the other side of it and be in the driver's seat of your emotions is, and it's kind of a pretty tight line to walk, because when I say being in control of your emotions, you don't want to have full control where you are being in denial and you're being delusional of what you want and what you want to see out of the other person, out of the situation or the circumstance you're in right now. So emotionally strong people understand that the world has its own thing, has its own ways, has its own control. And then they understand that they have their own things that they can control. You can't control what the world's going to do, but you can control how you're going to react, how you're going to prepare for what's going to happen. Right? So that's a very important pillar. I feel like that's probably the most important pillar of the 4 pillars I'm about to explain. And we're going to go into the next one, is to be mentally disciplined. What I have down here is being able to walk down a straight line as aligned to your core and values and principles as a person without letting the world's distractions derail you. This can be a goal, career goal, friendship goal, whatever that may be. You have a goal. To be mentally disciplined to achieve that day in, day out is a hard task to get done. But this is what a spiritual warrior has what they do is they have a goal in mind, and they are mentally preparing themselves for that challenge. And they understand that it's not going to be easy. So to stay disciplined on day in, day out actions, teeny tiny bit actions to get where you want to be is fucking hard. It's something that you're not going to receive results in a week, in a month, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but you have faith, but you stay disciplined, but you show up. It's like working out. I mean, if you want to go to the gym and you want to see results, you're not going to see results within the first week. You're probably not going to see results for 3 weeks, but you have to go in, day out, stay true, have faith, and stay disciplined mentally to see the result you want to see. And that's pillar number 2 of what it means to be your spiritual warrior. The third one we have is being physically disciplined. And I think that explains for itself. And that's just being able to stay disciplined to your workout plan, to whatever works for you. If you like to bike, go bike. If you like to run, lift weights, yoga, Pilates, whatever that may be, whatever works out best for you, but being able to have a routine, something that's concrete that you can stay true to, stay disciplined into achieving this. Because at the end of the day, if you want to feel good mentally, emotionally, and with your energy, you have to have a good physical routine. You can't have one and not have the other. You have to have both. And I believe it all starts with physical. Once you start moving, you start doing jumping jacks, you start running, you feel good after working out, because that's your body telling you, hey, I like that. Let's do it again, and let's keep going. Your energy just automatically comes up. And that's why they have a thing called a runner's high. And that's because the body is stimulated and it loves moving. It loves motion. And that's why I have it here in one of the pillars, because you need to be physically active so you can be the best version of yourself, period. And the last pillar I have here is having a purpose. So when you're spiritually disciplined and you have a purpose, you have meaning, that means you're chasing after something. And this is not something that you can achieve in a year, 2 years, 3 years. When I say purpose, I mean your lifelong goal, your legacy, what you're meant to do here, who you're meant to impact, what type of lane are you carving in this world. And having this purpose, it's something that you just don't know what the fuck it is. You don't know what that purpose, that big question, that big answer is for yourself. But having the courage and bravery to take the steps forward to find out what that is, that's a sign of a spiritual warrior. Somebody who's not afraid. And people shy away from these moments of adversity, of failure, just because they want to seem perfect. But the people who have the courage and bravery to take action, still having fear, that's a fucking person who's brave. That's a person who I want to be behind and I want to learn from, because the things we're trying to do, we want to be as prepared as we want to be for it. But in reality, we're just not prepared. So to take action, to take a swing at that pitch without being ready is what needs to be done. And that's a sign of a strong motherfucker who just doesn't care, who wants to take action and hoping to see something else, having the faith, seeing some result, and then having faith that an opportunity is going to come by and you just, bounce off of that one and bounce off another. And next thing you know, you're pretty successful. So the 4 pillars are emotion, mental, physical, and purpose. These 4 combined together, I believe, is what makes a spiritual warrior. Someone who's able to balance all these things on a daily basis. Man, it's fucking hard, but it's something that the uncommon only do. It's something that the 2% of the world choose to do. And this is not for everyone. But if you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, this is literally for you. If you get these 4 pillars down and you have them concreted in your fucking mind, in your life, you are a bad motherfucker, because You are invincible. Okay, let me take that back. You're not invincible, but you are willing to fall. You're willing to break. And it's going to break you, but it's going to make you. It's going to shape you into the person you need to be to dodge the bullet next time, to duck right, duck left, and just getting you smarter and just building you overall, sharpening your skills in all areas in your life when you're leading by these 4 pillars of a spiritual warrior. A big thing about being a spiritual warrior is to be aware. You have to be aware of what's going on in your life. You have to be aware of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Your success is found in your daily routine. So ask yourself right now, what are you doing today? Or what have you been doing this past week? Is it something that's going to help you grow? Is it something that's going to help you learn to be the best version of yourself? Or are you doing things that are not benefiting you? Are you scrolling for hours? Are you distracting yourself with simple pleasures, with temptations you have in your life? If you constantly live the life that you're living right now, you're going to stay stagnant. You're not going to grow. You're going to stay where you are. You're going to keep living that life over and over and over again until you decide to change. And it's not even a big change. It's like implementing one habit in your life. You can see a different reality through that. 5 minutes a day, reading, meditating, working out, journaling, whatever that may be, you can change your life through one simple habit. What we're doing here is we're building yourself. We're building you, your emotional home, brick by brick. And we're making sure we're using the best material to make your house as sturdy and strong as possible. If you make your house with the shittiest material, with the shittiest foundation, shittiest concrete, most likely something's going to happen and it's going to fall. And we do not want that, especially when we're building ourselves. We want the strongest foundation for ourselves. So whenever we attack any obstacle that comes our way, we are ready, we are prepared, we are calm, we're grounded. And that's what these 4 pillars of a spiritual discipline, spiritual warrior is. To stand in the middle of the storm and be okay with what's going on. And that's a lot of balls to say that, to do that, but it's something that will set you apart from the rest. A person who is calm and quiet and stoic in moments of chaos is a person who has a lot of power. And this is something that you need to practice. It's something you have to develop for yourself. And I hope I can help you through this podcast. The second thing I want to mention is every single day you have a chance to practice this, to practice your craft, to practice your strength, to getting stronger. And whatever form of resistance comes into your life, whether it's a job opportunity, whether it's a friend that's backstabbing you, whatever that may be, I don't know what's going on in your life, but use that as an opportunity to get yourself stronger, to equip yourself with a stronger armor, to be a person who just doesn't get phased, a person who can have thick skin and is not afraid to get wet. It's not afraid to get bruises and bumps. And being intentional with these resistance it's the best thing you can do, because now you're being intentional with your growth. You're looking for these opportunities. You're being aware of what's going on around you and using this to your advantage. And once you start getting the habit of learning and improving and shaping, moving, weaving from these obstacles that are getting thrown at you, you're just going to be growing on 100 miles per hour. And it's the most fulfilling, it's the most rewarding thing to see, because now your life starts to change. Now you start to look for good opportunities. You start to see a different reality. And a thing that helped me so much that I believe that you should practice too, or I would encourage it, is to practice positive focus. No matter what's happening to you right now, no matter what's going in your head or what's coming at you, you have the power to see the positive in any moment, in any situation you're in. And that right there is a huge flex. When things aren't going your way and you hit a roadblock, but instead of downing yourself on it, you use it as an opportunity, saying, It's all good. This wasn't meant for me. Let me move on. Let me go on to things that are meant for me, the people that are meant for me, the opportunities that are meant for me, and stay true to that. That's fucking hard, but it's something that you need to be, in a way, delusional with positive thinking. If you want to live a positive life, you have to strive for the things that are positive and only see the positive, and no matter what you're going through. This is something that's going to help you train your mind and rewire your brain to only seeing the positive. And that's going to take you so far, to only see the positive, even in moments where the world's not so positive, where you're not in a good position, you're not where you want to be. But having that faith and having that values and that principle, these pillars to go by, to stay true. Nope, on to the next one. On to the next one. What's for me? It's not for me. Let me get out of my way. Let me pursue something that's for me and what's in my best interest. We honestly have to be a little more selfish with our life. In reality, no one's going to save you. The world owes you nothing. So you have to have the desire and the commitment to go out there and get what you want on your terms. And being able to shape the world around you, aligning with your values, your cores, your principles, is the main goal of a spiritual warrior. But also being soft and being vulnerable, being loving, and being accepting to what is, whatever the world's throwing at you, and just letting go of the idea of perfect, letting go of the idea of control. We can't control what the world is going to give us, but we can control what's in here, what's in your mind. And that battle between your principles and going up against the beast of the world, that's the battle of a spiritual warrior, is to stay true to yourself in the midst of chaos, of things working out of place. That's the fucking battle right there. But staying true, staying disciplined to what you believe in is a spiritual warrior. So using resistance as an opportunity to strengthen your power, to get back your power, is key. You have to ask yourself, if you haven't already, like what drives you? What inspires you? What were you taught when you were a little kid that sticks with you? How do you treat a stranger? What are your principles? What are your values that you truly believe in, that's not going to shake you? There's a saying that goes, a man that doesn't believe in anything will fall for everything. Meaning, whatever is out there influencing the world, whether it's through your friend group, social media, the news, these things have the power to influence you because you are not grounded by your own values, your own principles. So you have to take time to, answer these questions. And I would encourage you to get a journal and find out what this is. And these true values of yours is what makes you. It's what makes your mark into the world. It's what has your imprint on it, your personality, your character. And just staying true to that and going through the world and trailblazing the fuck out of it. That's power. That's strength when you're able to do that. But also, how I said, being soft, being lenient, being flexible, being open to opportunities, being open to other perspectives. This is what will get you where you want to be. To use all these different perspectives. And I'd encourage you, if somebody tells you something that you're just unfamiliar with, make sure you look at it from all the sides, all the angles, from the top, bottom, left, right, under it, on top of it, before you implement it into your life. And this is a practice I've told myself several times, is to just continue to learn to be open to perspective, but stay true to your values. Because if the day that I start derailing, getting off track of my values, that means that that's the day I lose myself. So have your filters, have your pillars, be your filters for your life whenever you're going through whatever you're going through right now, or you want to be in the future. This is so important. This is what makes you, this is what breaks you. And you have to have a direction. You have to have an agenda for yourself. If not, someone else will have the agenda for you. They will set it for you. They will tell you what to do. And who knows where you'll be. Because at that time, at that moment, you are no longer in control. Somebody else is. And this is your life, your experience. Take control. Take your power back. And stay disciplined to the idea of your goals, of your dreams, of your desires. This is something that will give you meaning into the life, into your life. So the last thing I want to talk about on this podcast, and I think it's the most important part, everything you learned. So small recap of what we talked about. 4 pillars of spiritual warriors include emotion, mental, physical, and purpose. You need to be emotionally intelligent, mentally strong to do the things you need to do, physically strong to get your body working, to get your body moving, so you can give yourself the best chance, the best energy to achieve the things you want to achieve. And then having a purpose. You need to have a drive. You need to have something you're chasing after. It's not the kill that's fun, it's the hunt. And then the third thing is to be aware. We need to be aware of what we're doing on a daily basis. Are we working towards our goals, or are we going against it? And you can find that out easily by just writing down what you do in a day or in a week. Next thing, control what you can and let go of what you can't. Be stoic, be grounded. Understand that curveball is going to be getting sent your way all the fucking time. But that's okay. That's life. Everyone else is dealing with the same thing. But being rooted to your principles, to your core values, to your foundation, how we said, of the house you built to navigate this world is what will set you apart and is what will get you out and find the light. Practice positive focus. Always look for positive outcomes in negative situations. There's a positive in everything. Even failures, there's lessons in failures. And I know that's very cliche and cheesy, but it's so true. You have to start seeing through that perspective of every roadblock, every time I fall down. What can I learn from this? How can I prevent this from happening again? How can I move to the right and dodge the bullet? What can I do to get stronger because of this setback? Ask yourself these questions and reflect on it and then improve from there. And last thing is to just try your best. This is the most important part. Try your best when you're trying to better yourself. This is fucking hard and you're going to fall off. It's going to happen. I had several moments where I've fallen off, but to have the discipline to get back on is even harder. Momentum takes over after that. It's a very steep slope. Your snowball can go right, which is negative, or left, positive. So just trying your best and understanding that you're not perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. So just staying true to your principles, and as long as you're being a good person, you're following what your truth is that you're seeking, and treating everyone else just like your neighbor. It's a different perspective when you understand that your struggles are hard and difficult. So when somebody else is going through the same thing, you understand them and you can resonate with them and be able to be there for them. So trying your best, and no one can rob you from anything if you go to sleep knowing you did your best. That's all you can do, and let the man upstairs handle the rest. Let him take care of everything else, but just do your part. Meet God in the middle when it comes to pursuing and it comes to being your best self. That's all you can do. That's all you can control. And that's the best advice I have ever gotten. I mean, we were always told when we were little kids, try your best, try your best. Even if you lose, same thing applies to you right now and for the rest of your life. Try your best in whatever you want to do. Whether it's being the best employee, being the best student, being the best sibling, the best son, whatever that may be, just try your best, do your best, and show up with the attitude of a winner. And just don't let the world phase you. Right now, I feel like the world is getting a little shaky. People are getting a little weaker in the mind because it's this technology is overtaking our thoughts, our thinking. But let's bring it back to the basics. Let's go out for a walk. Let's journal. Let's call our friends. Let's call our parents. Let's start trying our best to be the best we can be. And once you start living life that way, you will start thriving in this world. So, with that being said, that's the end of the 12th episode, Spiritual Warrior. You guys are spiritual warriors. You guys are trying to better yourself. You're trying to better yourself. You're a warrior. You're a king. You're a queen trying to do something for yourself and for your future. And for that, I tip my hat. I give you all the props in the world for doing that because it's a hard battle. But by doing this, you're doing God's work. You really are. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode, watching this, viewing this, listening to this, whatever you are in the world. I love you. I appreciate you. And let's just go out there and be better. Let's go out there and get better so we can see something else. We can see a different world. And as I end off every podcast episode, show love, give someone a compliment, pay for someone's food, be a good person. You know, we're all living in this world. We're all trying our best. We're all trying to do something. So let's just help each other out.
A rich